Oh, that's really far over. Let me do that. And there we go. Hi everyone. You are the first people that I've spoken to today, so I don't know what my voice is going to be like. But thank you so much for tuning in, whether you are watching this live or after the fact. Today's reading is going to be for the air signs. So yesterday we did Earth, and today we're going to cover Gemini. I think we're doing Aquarius and then Libra. Now I did do a YouTube Shorts prediction for y'all as well, just to quickly get something out there for you. If you have seen that, I'm going to try to get more info. We're not going to necessarily follow that prediction. We're just going to see what comes out now. Without further ado, let's do Gemini. Okay. There we go. All right, so Gemini, let's have a look at what you can expect in the month of December 2025. We'll get a general feel first, having a look at your key theme, and then we'll look at specific predictions with tarot as well. Spirit, please tune me into Gemini's energy. What can Gemini expect in the month of December? What can Gemini expect in the month of December? Okay. Oh wow, we have psychic healing coming out for you, which is mugwort, and we also have Makuna, which is journey. So straight away, notice the planets on these cards, and I'm filming first thing in the morning, just like I did yesterday, so I've still got my caffeine shakes, and I hope they calm down throughout this reading. We'll see how we go. But with mugwort here, the psychic healing energy, we have the moon, Neptune, and with Makuna we have Uranus and Mercury. So straight away I'm seeing a strong air energy over here. You're showing up for yourself a little bit. If you have any Aquarius placements, this is going to play into your monthly prediction. But I think with the water over here, December is actually less about being in your head and more about feeling the moment. Now, you may have significant things happen in December with water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. These moments are healing. They're supposed to be grounding. And they're supposed to help you feel positive feelings. Maybe this year has been quite busy, quite stressful, or some big things have happened this year for you. And so in December, there's a strong sense of connecting to close people on one-on-one. Sorry for butchering that. I should hold my Amazonite so I can actually get the words out this early in the morning. It's about connecting with people one-on-one and making sure that you don't feel like you're ending this year with heavy feelings. So the psychic healing energy is either intentional or accidental, but the effect it's going to have is in helping you kind of transmute some of the emotional and energetic baggage that this year has presented to you. Whatever you've been through this year, you don't want to carry it into 2026. And so the people around you are a big part of how you do that, because they helpfully distract you and they also make you feel more positive about what's happening ahead. So be very mindful of who makes you feel good, Gemini, who gives you warm, fuzzy feelings, and who makes you feel like you're at home, like you're at peace with this Cancer energy, like you're safe. There's a really important conversation happening in December that feels like a heart-to-heart conversation, a deep and meaningful conversation. And it allows you to relax. Like I just feel your muscles relaxing, your jaw unclenching, your feet just, when you're uncomfortable, I'm kind of doing it right now because I'm channeling, and you kind of prop your feet up on your toes. when you're sitting in a chair. I'm literally doing it right now. But it can happen when you're in like a tense situation, or when you're not fully comfortable. Like if somebody invites you in for a coffee and you were just prepared to like drop something off and leave, you know, maybe that's just me at the moment. It's the complete opposite here. The shoes are off, the feet are up, you know, blankets are on, we're getting cozy. If you live in a hot climate like I do, like the aircon's on, you're comfortable. It's a softer, quieter setting in someone's home, more than likely, and this strong feeling of just being at peace and comfortable around those people. And it's come a long way. Like it's a beautiful shift for you because of this Makuna energy. So let's have a look at how this is all happening. I might have to come back a little bit so you can see my other tarot cards. Let's do that. Okay, so we are going to use the Nightmare Before Christmas deck for you. I've just been using the Herbal Astrology Oracle by Adriana Ayales. Sorry, Adriana. Let's have a look. Spirit, what is happening in December? We can probably keep those two together, actually. What is happening in December for Gemini? What is happening? Okay, Gemini. Whoa, 3 cards straight off the cuff. All right. At the back of the deck is the 5 of Presents, which is kind of like the 5 of Pentacles in this deck. I can see the camera a lot better today. That's why I chose this setup. With the earth signs, I was struggling, but for you, I can see. So I'm going to try to keep every card in frame this time. 5 of Presents reversed, so 5 of Pentacles reversed. Now, keep in mind, I chose this deck because it kind of fits in with the holiday spirit. Whether you celebrate or not, it tells me a little bit more about how that whole season is going to go for you. I don't think you want to get wrapped up in the gift-giving process, but I can see some beautiful sentimental moments happening in December for you, and some really meaningful gifts being exchanged. Strongly intentional gifts, and very centered around the relationship that you have with that person. Whether it is a gift you give to your boss, you know, because of how they've supported you, or that workmate because of how they've supported you, that colleague, or it could be a sibling, it could be the person who's been looking after your pets or your house while you're away. It could have, you know, just be anyone who really you want to thank. And I actually want to say this, if you haven't bought it already, it doesn't have to cost a lot of money. Hi, Casey. Thank you so much for checking on me. I hope you're well as well. I'm just sort of waking up over here. You're the first people that I've spoken to all morning, so my voice is like waking up, but I feel good. Thank you for asking. I hope you're well as well. I do think with this 5 of Presents, you don't need to spend a lot of money on these people who have been impactful in your life. In December, it's about time. It's about quality time and effort. And I think the people around you recognize, Gemini, that your time is precious. So they're going to appreciate whatever time they can get with you. Now, aside from that, the bigger picture of the 5 of Presents reversed is your presence is a gift. Their presence is a gift. We're not wanting to miss out on spending that time with people. So in December, it feels like you get to be close to people that you don't usually get to be close with. You get to make that time and really connect. And I want to say that it's either overdue because it's a 5 of Presents situation, or it's not long enough. So make the most out of it, because it's going to feel like, oh, I wish I had more time with them. And I do see you having a beautiful moment where you're connecting one-on-one with someone you really feel comfortable around and healed by, if that makes sense. They're very like coming home to them is what it feels like. Now we also have the Emperor reversed. These cards all came out at once, if you did miss that as well. We have the 3 of Potions, which is the 3 of Cups. And we have the Chariot reversed. Let's spread these out a little bit. I didn't realize how much space I have Or I can just bring them closer so you can see them a little bit better. Spirit, what else does Gemini need to know about December? Wow. So we have Pisces over here on the Three of Potions, dog hair. And we have the 11th house and the moon again. So we're seeing more of that. And the Chariot is also Cancer. So more of that energy of being comfortable, spending time in your house and other people's homes, so that you can connect more meaningfully. It's not about, you know, big flashy sort of experiences. It's about being comfortable enough to actually talk about the things that you need to. And sometimes you can't do that in loud environments. You have to wait until you're in those comfortable spaces, those cozy, safe spaces. Now, Cancer has come through a lot. So a Cancer sign could be significant. Or in this case, we also have Aries and Pisces. So the start and the end of the zodiac are both here. I think that that's very telling of the month that you're going to have. Aries energy at the start of the zodiac can be quite impulsive and, you know, very excited and very ambitious as well. Aries people, whether they mean to say it or not, they tend to show this desire to do things and prove things to themselves, to others. And at times it can come at that price of being humbled by life's unexpected tangents. And that's when Aries can become very recluse and go back into this sense of independence. But then you have Pisces here, which is encouraging you to just be, to enjoy, and to not take things too personally. I don't know if you would agree. If you are a Pisces, maybe you feel like you have days where you take things too personally, but I think that this year has a full circle moment coming in December for you, where you're recognizing why certain things couldn't happen earlier in the year, why they didn't go according to plan. And by December, you're revisiting some of those ideas, plans, and aspirations to see if you should reattempt them in 2026 and to see how you can learn from them. You may also be talking to somebody about what they've been through and learning from their experience, hearing how they feel like life is against them right now, or things just aren't sort of going the way that they'd hoped. But I think with the Emperor reversed overall, December is about slowing down. It's not about taking on too much. It is about getting ready for the new year, Gemini. And for you, it's also about, with the 11th house here, making time for those friendships that are important so that you can also share your ideas, so that you can get that informed perspective from your support network of what should I do next in terms of my future, my aspirations, and the things that I want to achieve. So we're like recalibrating is what this feels like in December, to get that valuable input from your support network. And I do think with the Three of Potions here in Pisces, that's a really important part of your month. It may not be practical advice because, you know, there's not much you can physically do to get your goals moving, but it's peace of mind, which is everything. And I think that in 2026 is when you really need to do more practically. In December, it's about getting peace of mind. It's about enjoying the moments when you can, and also using your free time to decompress, because you're shedding layers again. You're shedding layers emotionally and energetically. Any baggage that accidentally got attached to you through your experiences in 2025, they're being shed in December. And that's why the people that you're around are really important. So I see a reunion here with the Three of Potions, a coming together of like an intimate quality. So a small group of friends, maybe a small group of people coming together. And the feeling is very, like, it's the same energy up here of the psychic healing with the Pisces energy. It's very sentimental. It's very heart-centered. It's very empathetic. Like everybody's just listening to each other. giving each other the space to be heard and appreciating the space to share as well. So it just feels really wholesome, Gemini. Outside of that, some of y'all may be strengthening a newer friendship in December. If this isn't someone you already know well, December is the month where it really seems to get more meaningful, that friendship. Now, I do think that with the Chariot reversed, you are going to look at December as a month that seems to be forcing you to slow down on your plans. Now, travel, this is a specific prediction, so take it as it resonates, but travel arrangements, we've got Chariot reversed, Journey reversed, things may change. You may be either, you may be having a flight delayed, or you may be needing to stay longer than you expected, or you may be reorganizing an itinerary. It just feels like the whole point is to slow down and connect and be more in the moment with people that you love and care about. So just be wary of that and get travel insurance if you need to. But I think that this is also a good month to, just double check any vehicles that you have. Make sure that the wheels are safe. Make sure that, it's got coolant or oil, all of that kind of stuff. Car problems. With the Chariot reversed, it's like little things that kind of slow you down, like a flat tire or, overheating, or if you live in a colder climate, like just the radiator slowing down. It may be out of your control. It's not going to ruin everything. It's actually a part of that overall theme of slowing down. So let's have a look at your career and finances now. Spirit for Gemini. What can they expect in December? In terms of their career, work, and money. Okay. We have the Seven of Presents, the Five of Needles. So Five of Swords, Seven of Pentacles. What's going on financially and work-wise? Four of Needles reversed. And we've got Temperance at the back of the deck. I'm just going to make sure. One thing I didn't check is if you can even hear me. So that would be awkward if I've just been talking. Yeah, bless. I was like, that would be so awkward if I've been talking this whole time and it wasn't even recording what I was saying. Okay. Spirit, what can you tell us about their career and their finances, Gemini? Wow. On the Mugwort card too, you have the 6th house and Uranus. So when it comes to money, you guys may have recently taken on a loan. I'm even hearing mortgage, or you may be trying to pay things off in December and working within a financial limit or restraint. There's also this feeling of trying to honor your financial responsibilities. So an agreement has already been made and you're trying to make sure that you can meet that agreement in December. The 6th house is also about work. So I think with that reversed, again, slowing down, focusing on your emotions, your energy, and recharging. When it comes to your finances, I see you trying to recharge your accounts as well. So whether you have the means to or not, you may actually be trying to spend less so that you're not missing out on money while you're not working in December, if that resonates. Now, I do think with the Uranus energy here, you've got some big ideas and some beautiful big plans when it comes to career, lifestyle, finances in 2026. And I do see those still, what's the word? Like they're still being created. So in December, you're getting more inspiration, either from the people around you and what they've been through, or just like something is going to cross paths with you, a reference material of some sort, and you're going to go, wow. So a seed is being planted here for your career and for how you invest money. It's going to help you look at your lifestyle and go, can I balance this better? Do I need to work harder? Do I need to have a plan in place for like my performance, or should I be working less? And so I do think with this Uranus energy and the sixth house reversed, in 2026, you're getting inspired to work more, but with a plan in place so that you're not working yourself to the bone for the rest of your life. It's for a very specific outcome, and the seeds are maybe planted, but they start to actually germinate and come into realization, because right now you don't really know what that would actually look like. But in December, you seeing somebody else's story helps you visualize your own future and go, wow, so that's how it would look for me, maybe. Now, when it comes to finances, with the Seven of Presents reversed, December is a defining moment of recognizing a pattern, either in your work, with what you do for money, or with how you spend money, because they go hand in hand. And you're realizing in December that something has to change. It's not a successfully sustainable practice. You can't keep working like this. You can't keep spending like this. So you have to change it. But December is the month that we kind of go pause, get ideas, and then in 2026, let's plant those seeds. So I see the Seven of Pentacles reversed as us pulling an unfruitful fruit plant out of the ground. And for me, it would be like, just to use something very personal as an example, obviously apply it to your own situation, but I have a pumpkin vine growing in my garden. It's producing like 4 pumpkins as we speak, but it produces like 20 different fruits. And for some reason, I don't know much about pumpkins, it just sprouted accidentally. Some of those fruits drop off and the dogs play with them, and birds have been eating them, and I'm like worried about rats at this point. But I'm looking at these vines and I'm going, why isn't that vine producing viable fruit? That other vine has 2 gorgeous looking pumpkins who I can't wait to have for Christmas. But for some reason, this vine, it could just be the soil, right? It could be the fact that it's in the shade more. Or maybe it's also the fact that that's where my dog likes to take its morning walk, and so it's being trampled on. But I need to, after I finish this live stream, go out there, have a look at it today, and decide before the end of the week, do I cut that vine off? Because it's not producing fruit, and it could actually be taking nutrients from my other fruit. So that's what a Seven of Pentacles reversed is. There's a part of your life when it comes to work and how you spend money that isn't helpful. It's not sustainable, and it's not giving, it's taking. So not only do we have to be aware of it, but you have to cut it off and change it so that it doesn't spoil everything else that you're working on. Now, when it comes to the Five of Needles, I see you standing up for yourself more. In fact, to the point where with the Libra card reverse, some of you are walking away from a job opportunity. Some of you are declining a contract, a position, and you're going, I don't want that kind of responsibility because it's not worth it. It's actually going to take more from me than what it needs to. And this is also about choosing what is best for you and taking actions towards the opportunities that are best for you. Taking a stand for some of you, being a bit more outspoken about your needs, your goals, even if it's not in everybody's best interest. So financially, I see with the Five of Needles and the Libra card here that you need to be very self-focused with your money, and don't be giving it away. Don't be signing up for things that could take more from you as well, Gemini. Be careful of Libras. I'm not saying they're bad people, but it's here to say that you may be getting into a confrontation with somebody who has that, may have good intentions, but they want what you have at your own expense, and that's not in your best interest. So with the Four of Needles reversed, there are some people who you are avoiding in December just because they want money from you. just because they expect too much from you. And there's also this feeling of being very selective about what you work on. So you may be taking some time off in December, which is very common this time of year, but you also may be taking on an extra shift or an extra job opportunity than what you were expecting, because it kind of suits you better. But the whole theme is it has to suit you. It's not really supposed to benefit others. And I'm hearing fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice, shame on you. Is that right? Or is it the other way around? Fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. Yeah, so maybe this is somebody who's always asking for favors. And at first you're like, yeah, okay, like no worries, I'll help out. It's Christmas or it's the holidays. And then they ask again and you're going, well, wait a minute. No. And that's why temperance is also here. Financially speaking, you're in a good place, sweet soul. You end this year feeling like you're going to start the year strong, and you shouldn't be too worried, too stressed. It's nothing you can't handle. So whatever this is, you overcome it easily, and it's just all a part of the bigger plans that you have in 2026. I'm not too worried about your career or your money, sweet soul, so I hope you're not either. You may have messages in other signs if you are. Let's have a look at your love life to summarize now. What is going on for Gemini's love life? In 2026, Spirit, what is going on in Gemini's love life? Okay. We have the King of Candles. I wanted to say candies, but definitely not. What else, Spirit? What is going on in Gemini's love life? The Queen of Needles, so Queen of Swords, King of Wands. We also have the Devil. And at the back of the deck is the Six of Presents. Let me just have a quick sip of my coffee. Oh, we literally don't have any coffee left. Okay, onto the water. Spirit, what can Gemini expect in their love life? Wow, that was quick. We have Leo coming out over here. We also have more Uranus energy. So Uranus is huge for you in December, if I can say that without laughing. We also have the 8th house. So I'm seeing in your love life, again, shedding, purging, heavier things coming up so that we can transmute them. And perhaps being around that social group is going to help you kind of address things that you've been suppressing. Because once you're around the right people, then it's easier to be able to address it, talk about it, and figure out what's going on. I think that your love life is at a turning point. We've got to evaluate what we've been through already and then look at what we want moving forward. In December, something uncomfortable is popping up that has a tie to a past experience, and you have to figure out, what does this mean for me? It feels like it's somebody else's thing that's happening, but as you witness it, you're going, oh, this is making me feel uncomfortable. This is making me feel triggered. This is making me realize something for myself. And that's really what Uranus is helping you do. It's helping you realize things, not to quote Kylie Jenner, but I think Uranus is making you want more than what you've previously told yourself. You may have told yourself, like, this is enough for now. I'm okay. I'm at peace. I'm, not too worried. But I think you actually want more than what you're getting, than what you're experiencing. And with the Queen of Needles here, you're very perceptive to the point where you're actually thinking quite critically of the people around you, of your love interest, whether you're in a relationship, single, talking to someone, or just minding your business. You're looking around at people and whoever you would usually be interested in, or whoever you're dating or seeing, and you're keeping track of who they are, of what they're doing, and you're measuring it against what you want for yourself. It's making you assess the bigger picture. It's like putting pieces of a puzzle together. You may have a criteria sheet that you're also marking against, but for the most part, the Queen of Needles just gathers information, very observant, listens. You're listening to your friends talk about their relationships. You're watching people on social media talk about their relationships. You're processing what you've already been through, and you're comparing it with what you want for yourself. With the King of Candles reversed, there is a love interest here who doesn't always feel ready for what you want. And it may be a pattern that you have where you tend to gravitate towards people who aren't ready for what you want, who can't execute your plans, who can't participate in your vision, and who don't have the creative energy to keep you going. When it comes to love, this could be mismatched desire. Maybe this person is very sexually attracted, or you're very sexually attracted to them, but they want more and you're not ready. So mismatched desire and an inability to rein it in. In December, this is going to be more obvious that you both want different things, because if they wanted to, they would. And you might have a friend say that to you, Gemini. If they wanted to, they would. If you wanted to, you would. Whatever the situation is, it's coming from a very obvious point of view that you can't deny anymore. And with the Devil card here and Leo, I would say that December has a strong sense of like focusing on what you want, but wanting it right now, instant gratification. So I don't know, if you're in a relationship, maybe you're spending some time apart from your partner, and that time apart is making you realize things that you couldn't see when you were right there in each other's faces. If you're single, you may have something happen to a friend of yours, or someone may even come towards you with this energy, and you're going, it's very tempting to indulge, right? It's very tempting to just sort of have a holiday fling, but it has to be on your terms. So your love life feels like it has to be on your terms. You're realizing how someone's taken advantage of your nature and kind of pulled the wool over your eyes. So it kind of feels like you're trying to take that power back, but it's in quite a strong way. And it may be in like a really like overtly strong way that's not healthy long term, right? Like low-key toxic behavior temporarily in December. With the Six of Presents here, that's what really ties this message in. Whatever you do with this Devil card, however toxic it may appear, you're actually resetting the balance, Gemini, which makes me wonder what the hell you've been through this year when it comes to love. Like, if you being in your Devil energy is you restoring balance in your love life, what the heck has happened? You know, who has taken that from you, or who has pushed you into this? And I'm literally playing devil's advocate, but this is happening for a reason. I'm not going to shame you for being in this energy, because it's helping you purge, it's helping you process, and it's helping you see things from that bigger perspective. So that's what I'm seeing for you, Gemini, when it comes to love and December in general. I'm going to have to move forward. We got to cover Aquarius next, and then we're going to finish with Libra. Thank you, Gemini, for all of your time, your energy, and your support. I wish you peace, prosperity, abundance, happiness, health, wealth, success, and joy in the month of December. Let me just post here that we're up to Aquarius. All right. Spirit, please tune me into Aquarius's energy. Please help me offer Aquarius clear, honest messages about their December. What is happening in December for Aquarius, Spirit? What is happening in December for Aquarius? Oh, look at you. More inner peace. Very different to the earth sign energy. This is what earth signs need to do. I'm just going to bring that down. That's probably why your reading turned out like this. I do feel a little bit slower today, like just sort of, you know, when you don't have that fast pace that you usually do. That's what it feels like today. And at first I was thinking, oh my God, how am I going to keep up with the air signs? Because when I'm in this energy, it can be really hard to be so outgoing in these live streams. But I think that's not a coincidence. That is how your December month is going to be for you, Aquarius, especially. You are supposed to spend a little bit more time alone. I know, shock, horror, surprise, you are an Aquarius, but with this chamomile inner peace, number 9, there's a strong sense of sovereignty, of independence, of self, and of also like taking that slower pace. I think that December is about focusing on your peace, but also aligning whatever you do with your time. So obviously there are things in our day that we can't compromise. We have certain responsibilities, expectations that come with work, that come with family obligations, etc. But anything else in your free time is on your terms. And this feels intentional for a reason. We have the sun and the moon up here, masculine and feminine energy, recentering, recalibrating, recharging, resting, and also just balancing out who you are and your identity with how you also personally identify. Because sometimes the way that other people see us, and I know Aquariuses feel like this, the way that other people see us does not align with how we see ourselves. And that's why you're choosing to spend more time alone, because you're comfortable being alone. You're comfortable in your own energy. You're comfortable with who you are right now. And it's about making sure that you're not letting other people change how you feel about yourself. Now, you're not completely alone with Calendula. The main thing that's standing out is more sun energy here, and it's the number 1 and purity. I feel like this is about either delaying the start of things or learning from setbacks, because December is telling you to slow down, and that could have happened against your original design. You may have been vying for something to happen in December because you really wanted it, but it wasn't meant to happen yet. It wasn't meant to be. It wasn't in your best interest, and it would have taken more than it could give to you. So we're learning from those redirections, those cancelled plans, those false starts, and also those moments where our ego really wants something, but the bigger picture is saying, not yet, not now, not this, just wait, something else. And you have to be in that awkward stage where you're like, okay, but what does this mean? Give me answers, what's happening? So I think you're trying to preoccupy your mind, your expectations, and also you don't want to confront other people's expectations, because this is about you. But when things like this happen, a big part of our energy can go towards other people's disappointments or other people's feelings and managing how they feel about this for us. So let's get some tarot out now to have a look at what this means. Specifically, Spirit, what is happening in December for Aquarius? What is happening in December for Aquarius, please, Spirit? Okay, we have the Wheel of Fortune reversed. What is happening in December for Aquarius, please, Spirit? We also have the Knight of Potions reversed. We have the Ten of Candles reversed. Wow, look at all these reversals, Aquarius. At the back of the deck is the Death card reversed as well. So Scorpio energy is very significant. Leo, Cancer, and Sagittarius at this stage are the most prominent signs and energies in your reading. Spirit, what else can you tell Aquarius about December? Wow. Yeah, look at this Aries energy. you have a strong desire to do things. Like there's this action orientated energy within you that wants to do things, that's feeling very motivated at times and very restless at times. But with this Knight of Potions reversed and the number 10 and Neptune down there, I don't know if you can see that actually. Let me bring it a little bit closer. And then up here is the Aries dice. All of this is making me think that, first of all, your creative streak is really coming through very strongly. Look at me like setting you up for feedback with like a positive critique, and then I'm gonna like dip into the criticism. No, but in December, there's a strong feeling of like, I can do this, I've got this, I want to do this, I don't want to sit around, I don't want to like, you know, be bored, I don't want to waste the day, waste the time. But you're kind of being told that you need to channel that energy into things that don't require too much from you. Knight of Potions reverse, you're distracting yourself from some sort of feeling or from some sort of obvious, I want to say, the Knight of Potions is like, there might be somebody in your life who you left things unresolved feelings wise, and instead of waiting around for them to step up and talk to you or do something that you really want them to do, you're trying to distract yourself. And you may even be feeling like it's not that bad, we just need to hit the pause button in this relationship, in this friendship, in this whatever it is. The Knight of Potions means this is someone you really cared about, something you were very hopeful for, but there's bitter feelings here, and that can turn into resentment in December. So you're trying to figure out how to distract yourself from those feelings. But what Spirit's highlighting with the 10 here is that this relationship, again, whether it's platonic or romantic, it has hit the end of a chapter. And you've got to figure out from how that ended, what are your real options now? Part of moving forward is processing this, but I don't know if you want to, because it feels like you're telling yourself it's not over, it hasn't finished, it's not that big of a deal. But Spirit's saying, well, something has ended here. It's never going to be the way that it was. Things have changed. And you pretending they haven't isn't going to change the way that you actually feel on the inside. But with the Wheel of Fortune reversed, you're also feeling like you're going through this cycle of everything that could go wrong is still going wrong for you. It's like you're going through a series of unfortunate events. And in December, the events are saying like, hey, maybe you're focusing on the wrong things right now. Maybe you're prioritizing your energy in ways that aren't actually helpful for you. Maybe you're trying to do things that are completely opposite to what is best right now. But instead you're seeing it as like the odds are stacked against me, you know, things aren't working out for me the way that I expected. And you're only human, so like you're trying not to bear the weight of that, because that's too much at once to carry on your shoulders, to feel in your heart. And so I can see why you're feeling restless as well, and why it's coming out in a way where you're trying to bypass your heart. You're trying to bypass feeling too much, caring too much about what other people have going on, about what they're doing, about their lives. You're trying to just keep in your solitude bubble and kind of do the things that you want to do, because that's right now what's helping you. But with the 10 of Candles reversed, I think that there is this overall design here from a higher perspective, from a universal godly perspective, whether you are religious or not. The bigger picture is that things have to change. You have to release a certain responsibility, certain expectations, so that you can free yourself energetically. You have to cut some cords here. I don't think certain things can be recovered. It can't be the way that it was. Moving forward requires a huge reset, and your expectations need to change of yourself, of others. They're not who they used to be. You're not who you used to be. I'm hearing the terms and conditions have been updated. You know when they make you read the user agreement again? You have to like scroll through all this like fine print and go, I accept. That's what this is. And you're trying to not read the fine print, but whatever this software is like, no, we know you haven't accepted it. Go back, read the fine print, and accept that the terms and conditions have changed for your best interest. You're not reading somebody else's contract of their life. You're reading your own user's agreement of what you came here to achieve. And your spiritual team is giving you this updated terms of agreement to help you level up. But you're seeing it as, oh, this is all happening against me, which is very human. So give yourself grace with the death card reversed. This is typical fixed sign behavior. You know, as someone that has Aquarius placements, I fully resonate with this message in some ways, but this isn't easy. That's why the death card's here reversed. It isn't easy. And December is a tricky month, let's be real. Whether you celebrate the holidays or not, it symbolizes the end of the calendar year. It symbolizes the holiday season where you're supposed to be around a lot of people that love you and who you love. But if you've had a challenging year, it can be a really hard time of the year where everything catches up to you. So have grace for yourself and give yourself that avenue in your selective solitude to be able to process this properly so that you're not carrying baggage and you're not letting it catch up to you later. The death card reversed makes me think that either a past issue that you had tried to get over too quickly is resurfacing, forcing you to confront it once and for all. Or you're going to tell yourself, I don't have time to deal with that in December. I'll wait till later, and it will come back. So just be aware of that. Let's have a look at your career and your money and your finances now. For Aquarius, please, Spirit. What is happening in December for Aquarius when it comes to, wait, I'm going to set my intentions properly. When it comes to career and money, what is happening? Thank you, Spirit. Oh, we have the Emperor. When it comes to career and money, what is happening for Aquarius in December? We have the Sun. Wow, look at all this Sun energy. And we have candles, 10 of candles with the 6 of presents. Okay. What is happening with money and career, Spirit? Wow, so up here we have Scorpio reversed. Over here we have Mars, which is on the 10 of candles again. 10 of candles in the same placement too. And we have the 3rd house over the Sun. So look, you don't have to be alone, but I think you're choosing to have your moments of solitude, because over here there is a strong feeling of community, even just siblings and, you know, really close friends trying to keep in contact with you, trying to check up on you, wanting to see you, organizing a time to get together, all of that stuff. And I think that when it comes to your money, you even have people saying like, look, we can pay for you to be here. We want to see you. But there's also this feeling with the Sun and the 3rd house here of you seeking success from your career and your finances right now. You're defining your success on your money. And I don't know if that's a bad thing. I think when I say it, it kind of sounds a little bit loaded, but I think that it's also about, again, your independence, when it comes to money in December, there is a beautiful sign that you will have more financial independence, or that you will be able to achieve something that you've personally been working on. And it's a financial goal. You're getting recognized for it. Your loved ones are noticing it. You're getting praise. People are messaging you and screenshotting whatever this is and sending it to you and saying, hey, I just saw this. And this is boosting how you feel, but you're also taking it personally. It's not just impacting your finances, it's impacting your identity with the sun. It's how you're modeling your version of success. So I think this is also how you're coping. And let's be real, you have a Saturn ruler. Yes, Uranus is one of your rulers, but you also have a Saturn ruler. That's how you cope with your karma. That's how you cope when the wheel is reversed. You work hard. You almost punish yourself at times, and you put yourself in those situations where you measure success and identity against how well you can achieve these goals, these things. So people around you are noticing and praising you. And I think with the Six of Presents here, this is really helpful in, again, distracting you from that emotional stuff and also giving you that security. I do see you working hard in December. Are you picking up extra shifts, or are you prioritizing a side hustle? You're putting a lot of work into December, and it feels rewarding. Like, it's not just hard work, it's actually rewarding, it's gratifying. And I think with the Ten of Candles reversed, that's what, well, actually both of these cards, the Emperor and the Ten of Candles reversed, it's not hard work, but it's well-deserved, it's well-earned, your recognition. It's not depleting, it's actually fulfilling. It makes you feel more in control, more powerful, more independent, and it's also empowering you to feel like this is where you need to be channeling your energy right now. So with the Ten of Candles reversed and Mars over here, when it comes to career and money, this is where you're thriving. This is where you're setting and resetting boundaries, expectations, responsibilities. This is where you're channeling and actually purging energy. So there is a creative element to this. Whether you're creating something, like you're using creativity to create something, or whether it's how you're managing this, there's a creative element. And it feels cathartic. Like, look at that. You're stepping up, but you're feeling good about it. Like, it's not taking. I don't know how else to word it. With the Scorpio energy up here, your finances are a part of that emotional stuff we saw at the start of your reading, Aquarius. It's a distraction, but it's also a part of your healing. So I don't want to say distraction in a bad way. I think that your finances are your sense of purpose. Simple as that in December. So let's have a look now at your love life. And you have some moments to be an important and beautiful part of people's lives. Maybe with what you do for work, you get to deliver some really good news in December. And you also get to be a part of a really positive message in December, which is very gratifying. It just feels like it's soul gratifying. It ticks off, it aligns with your nature and it aligns with your values. What's happening in love for Aquarius? Yeah, you may be giving, because there's charity, there's gestures, there's sincerity, there's humanity. All of those things that Aquariuses love, without doing too much, right? It's like you're helping people who deserve the help. You're giving to people who deserve to receive that support. And you're also feeling like you have the means to. So that's part of it as well. What is going on with their love life in December? Aquarius. Okay, so we have the Three of Presents and the Chariot reverse. This is the second time, I think. Maybe it was for the other sign. The Ten of Potions and the Knight of Needles reverse. Spirit, what is happening in love for Aquarius. Okay, so we have the Taurus dice on top of inner peace. We also have the South Node energy. Well, it's kind of, yeah, it is South Node on Chariot, and we have the 5th house on the 10 of Potions. So with the Knight of Needles at the back of the deck, excuse me while I just wipe my nose. Aquarius, in December, this is feeling like, again, your love life is encouraging you to not be impulsive. December is about making sure that you don't do something you regret by wanting it too soon or by acting on an idea that isn't well thought out. And I don't think you will. I think you're actually telling yourself, like, even though I think like this, I'm not going to do it. So what I see happening is, if you're single, there may be a love interest around you who's interested in you, but you're telling yourself, I can't act on that. It's not someone I should pursue. It's not someone I should, interfere with. And it could be the terms. It could be because they're a colleague, for example, with this 3 of Presents, or you know them through friends or family, and you're more focused on your bonds. You're more focused on your sentimental connections. You're spending more time with family than anybody else in December. So it's not likely that you will have a love interest that you can really act on if you're single. If you're in a relationship, I think that this is telling you to just enjoy time together. But again, don't be impulsive. Don't expect too much from the relationship, from the person. And you're also trying to tell them not to expect too much from you, because you are going to, show up where you can, when you can, but you're also in your inner peace energy. So I think that when it comes to love, you're more likely to spend quality time with people who are already established in your life, like this Taurus energy, who already have meaningful bonds with you, who are already either people you love or a love interest who you're in a relationship with. If you're single, December doesn't feel like the month that you do that, like it doesn't feel like there's going to be someone who comes in who you can have a holiday fling with. But I don't think that's a bad thing, because with the Chariot reversed and the South Node energy here, you're either still getting over someone or you're trying to actively avoid taking on too much right now. You don't want other people's emotional baggage. The circumstances don't feel right to start something. And you may be in a position where you're wanting a meaningful connection at the right time. So you're not willing to just sort of have a quick thing. It's going to distract you from what you really want. But there's also this feeling of having baggage from a past relationship and you feeling like Christmas isn't about that. With the 5th house and the 10 of Potions here, there could be family members who are saying, hey Aquarius, I have someone for you. If you are single, they could be trying to set you up. But I also think that the whole point of December, when you are socializing, when you do want to be around people, you want to be around people that you love. You want to be around people who make you feel included, and you're not having to get to know them for the first time. You're not having to, when you're still not comfortable with someone and you have to perform for them a little bit, you have to be on your best behavior and all of that. You don't want to deal with that in December. So if you're single, the most you're going to do is just prioritize your loved ones. You're going to hear people suggesting things to you. You're going to see people interested in you, but I don't see you acting on it. And if you're in a relationship, it feels like this month is about bringing your loved ones together, and it's about having important moments as a group. Your relationship may take a little bit of a toll because you need more time for yourself and because you're needing to prioritize your other close connections. And so you're trying to balance time with everybody you love, but you also are realizing that I also need time for me. Now, if you're in a situationship, I don't see things changing much in December, except that you're becoming more aware of what is unresolved between you and of how much this person's energy sort of takes, because you're not thinking about anybody else. You're not wanting to even entertain anybody else. You're still holding space for them, even though you kind of know that things aren't moving forward. So that's what I see for you, Aquarius, when it comes to love and December in general. I wish you a beautiful month ahead. Look after yourself. As we part ways, I wish you peace, prosperity, abundance, happiness, health, wealth, success, and joy on your journey ahead. We're going to finish this live stream now with Libra. So, Spirit, please tune me into Libra's energy. What is happening in the month of December for Libra? What is happening in the month of December for Libra? Wow, we have love and rose here. And we have surrender, which is passion flower, and harmony, yarrow. Let me just get another drink of water, y'all. Okay. So, I love to see this for you. This is your energy. Every time this oh my door. What did I just say? My mouth is not ready for this. Okay. Every time this card comes out, it makes me think of you. So I do like that it came out for you. In December, it tells us that your month is about your relationships with others, yourself. It's also about trying to balance it out so that you're in this state of harmony and you don't feel like you owe people, you don't feel like you owe yourself, you feel like you've done enough in all of those relationships. Now, at the end of the day, you know more than anybody, Libra, that you can't please everyone. So you're going to be focusing on being at peace with the decisions you've made in your relationships with your friends, with your family, and with whoever is your love interest in December. But we'll have a look at that at the end. I feel like, hi, sweet soul. Thank you so much for joining. I hope this message is helpful and resonates for December. I do think that this harmony card is about being at peace with your decisions and just making sure that you don't feel, again, like you owe anybody. Now, this card came out first, so let's talk about it next. We also have love, which is rose, the number 12. We've got more Venus energy here and the moon. Now, all of the air signs have had the moon, so I do think that December is about slowing down and addressing feelings, but making sure that you're around people who make you feel safe enough to talk about how you feel. I also think with this love energy here, like you're in your feels in December, whether you mean to be or not, your feelings are very much important to you. And having people around you who validate your feelings, who support your feelings, who listen to your feelings, they don't always have to agree with how you're feeling, but they need to be able to make you feel safe enough to feel. Those people are really important to you in December, Libra. Now, air signs don't always feel comfortable feeling this much. So expect it to be a weird month if you're not wanting to feel this much. You may even say, geez, I'm crying again. Like, ugh, it feels like somebody's just controlling my heart with a remote. So just give yourself grace for that, because it's like when it's the moon, it's not always in our control. It's just a reminder of how we're human, right? We can't control how we feel. And we see that again over here with passion flower, number 43, surrender. There's the moon again, and there's Neptune. So Big themes here in the month of December involve you seeing that you have different doorways opening, possibilities. And December isn't necessarily the month to act on it, but just observe. What are the many different things that you could do? And as you surrender to that observation, right, instead of impulsively going, oh wow, that door's opening, what's behind that door? You're just sort of sitting and watching and listening and taking it in, and you're encouraging more to come to you. This is a classic case of sometimes the first opportunity isn't always the best for us. So if we can just be patient with the process, let it unfold, we start to see how Neptune is giving us different choices, different options. Some of them are illusions of success, and others are more aligned with who we are, what we want, and what's best for us. So in December, it's like a game of trust the process. Let it unfold, let all the doors open. Don't rush ahead, don't choose too quickly, sit with it, see how it feels. And that's why your feelings are very important in December. Let's have a look at what Tarot has to say now. Spirit for Libra. What is happening here in December for Libra? What is happening here in December for Libra? Oh, I won't take it. It has to come out properly. You've got a lot of different cards, so I feel like you're quite different to the other two groups. We have Temperance. So there's more of that harmony, that balance. We also have the Seven of Needles, Seven of Swords, and it's upright. So you're keeping secrets. We have the Nine of Needles reversed. Okay. You're controlling information with the mentality of not everybody needs to know right now, because you feel like the outcome is still uncertain. Now, something has already happened that brought up a lot of fears, and in December, you're going to look at it as more of an opportunity. I think now that you've been able to process things, by the time December rolls around, you're seeing the silver lining. You're seeing that this is actually not something to be afraid of. This is not something to be worried about. It's not going to be that bad. It could actually be good. But it's going to take you time to process it. And you're holding secrets, so either something has happened to you that you're not telling everybody yet, you're choosing not to tell some of your even close loved ones because you just want to sit with it. But I also think with the Seven of Needles here, you feel like you need to make some of your plans, some of your movements, and even work on some of your ideas behind the scenes. You don't want to share it with everybody because hearing what they have to say adds to your fear instead of empowerment. So you're choosing to move in silence so that you can stay focused. And this is a mentality. It's something that you're doing to fortify your mind so that you don't let other people negatively impact your mindset. At the back of the deck, we have the High Priestess, so lots of feminine energy here. Lots of observing, waiting, feeling your way through things, acting intuitively. Instead of reacting, sitting with the information, processing it over time. I moved that camera and now it's just crooked. Let's see if I can straighten it up. And just trying to, with the Temperance card, not lose your head. Let's be real. December doesn't feel like it's something you're kind of ready for. you're trying not to let it get you overwhelmed. You're trying to maintain your peace. You're trying to maintain your sense of balance. And you're also trying to make sure that other people aren't getting into your head and fueling your fears, your insecurities, your anxieties. So what does this mean, Spirit, for Libra? Yeah, look at you in your power, restoring balance, focusing on the people that you love, making sure that you're not feeding into the way that they feel, prioritizing how you feel, and focusing on what you feel, trying to set healthy boundaries with a parent, with the Saturn energy reversed. Oh, I've got my RoboVac going right now. Sorry if that's making a lot of noise in the background. And just trying to not let other people's expectations demand too much from you, because Saturn reversed can feel like other people's expectations are outweighing our own needs, our own wants. So that is a parent-child dynamic where a parent may be wanting you to do something, or even in some cases a child may be wanting you to do something. But it's also about, other people's karma, other people's unresolved karma, and you going, I'm not taking that on. Like, yes, it's the season of giving, but I'm not taking that on. I will give appropriately, but I'm not taking on your baggage, your designs, your mistakes. And this is big picture stuff, sweet soul. So on a larger scale, you may have family members who are still choosing to do things that you don't align with. And you may be realizing more than ever that you need to choose your own family, and you don't practice the same values or traditions as them. You don't have the same baggage as them. You're learning from their mistakes as well, which is also making you want to be more selective and careful about what you share with them. With the number 1 over here on the 9 of Swords, this is a strong feeling of somebody who's determined to make the most out of an opportunity. Like, you're seeing your life as something that is going to get better. But the only way you can do that is if you're in control of your headspace. And you have to be in control of what's around you in order to help control your headspace. You can't afford to let your mind go to dark places, and therefore you can't afford to be around people who bring you down. So with that 1 here, the first house, it might look like you're being very selfish, Libra, because you're choosing to prioritize yourself. You're choosing to be very careful and specific about who gets the best of you. And you're prioritizing this energy that's very still. You don't want to be pulled into other people's plans, other people's mess, other people's mistakes. So let's have a look at how this is translating financially and with your career or your work. I was about to reshuffle these, but we'll leave them out. Spirit, what is happening in December for Libra when it comes to their career / work / money? What is happening for Libra's finances? Oh, we have the King of Potions. What is happening for Libra's? Oh, we also have the Eight of Presents. What is happening for Libra's finances, Spirit? We have the 10 of Needles. So 10 of Swords reversed. At the back of the deck is the Death card, Libra. Wow. What is happening with their career, Spirit, their money? Up here we have the North Node, kind of. And we also have the 4th house. And over here we have you again, Libra reverse. This is the second time that dice has come out like that. So I do think that for you, when it comes to finances, the similar themes are happening here. It looks like a lot of your money is going towards the things and the people that you really love and care about. But with the King of Potions, again, we're seeing how some people are thinking, geez, you're being a bit selfish with your money. You're choosing to spend a lot of money on yourself. And there is an interesting level of like judgment, scrutiny, and criticism coming your way. So I don't know what that's about, sweet soul. Like, what the heck is going on with the people around you to be able to have these opinions? It does make me wonder what's going on in your like family situation. And I think that for you, because I'm reading for you, I'm getting really bothered by how much your reading is interrupted by other people, other energies, other expectations. So I don't know, like, am I playing devil's advocate by choosing your side? What I'm seeing here is that the King of Potions, when it comes to money, there's a strong feeling of, again, being careful about who sees what you're doing. The King of Potions to me is really good at reading emotion and at conveying emotion to the point where it can even be manipulative. With that card upright, look at him holding this big bottle. Like, I feel like there are key people in your life who you are investing in, and you're investing time, you're investing money, but you're also to some extent expecting things to come from certain people. You're expecting certain people to give to you because that would help move forward. And if it doesn't happen, and I've just got a spoiler alert here, sweet souls, there are some people who you're expecting gifts from, who you're expecting gestures of giving and generosity and paying back for what they've done, who aren't going to give. They're not going to be there in the way that you're expecting them. So what I'm seeing with the Eight of Presents reversed and your energy reversed is you choosing to shut down and redirect into self. And that comes back into all of this that we saw in the beginning. Financially, and even in your workplace, you're going to feel like it's not worth it. It's not worth your time to give to others. It's not worth the effort because there's evidence that the cycle is still there. And you're going to feel like it's in your best interest to just invest in yourself. Now, when it comes to work, you might be taking time off unexpectedly. And I think this could even be you deciding, like, they didn't give me leave, but I'm taking a week off. Like, I'm not working. I'm taking that time off. Because the alternative is you getting pulled into things that you didn't plan for, prepare for. You feeling like people are forcing you to do things that they couldn't figure out for themselves. And now because Susie chose to call in sick, even though you saw on her Snapchat story that she was out drinking last night, you've got to sacrifice quality time away from your family to be there first thing in the morning on Boxing Day. So it's that kind of energy where there's this dynamic of either you've given too much or you're being expected to give too much just because other people couldn't get things sorted. And on the other hand, you're also being seen as somebody who's expecting too much. So that's why this feels so important, because you know you can't make everybody happy. So you have to feel like you're at peace with your choices, your decisions. You want to feel like, I'm not bending over backwards, compromising all of my time and everything that I want just for other people. And that's showing up in your work and with your money as well. So over here with the 10 of Needles, I do think that when it comes to finances in December, it's really important that certain things end. Dynamics, expectations, communication, actions. I see you feeling like you've walked out of it winning in this situation, whether it's like what I said before, a colleague expecting you to pick up a shift here, or work expecting you to work over the holidays. You end the month feeling like I'm good because I didn't let them get the best of me. I didn't let them take advantage of me. I didn't let them betray me. But there's also a price. And with the Death card reversed, there's a pattern emerging. So when it comes to money in December, be aware of that pattern, because I think that you've accidentally repeated a cycle here where you've gotten into a situation that has ended or climaxed in quite a messy way. And in December, it gets really complicated, and it's something that you're trying to do what you do, right? Be at peace with your choices, but there are hard feelings here for some reason. Like, it just feels so messy. What is going on in the background here, Spirit, when it comes to work? What is this for Libra? Dare I ask, because you're supposed to be my last sign, so I'm supposed to be wrapping up right now. Two of Wands. I think you just have different plans. Look at you. The people around, who is around you? The people around you are saying that you're very self-focused. But the truth is, you're not happy. And you're trying to work on your happiness. You're trying to work on making yourself feel happier. But the way that you're doing it, it feels like you're stepping on other people's toes. And you've accidentally created these cycles with people in your life who are they've come to expect a lot from you, and vice versa. And it feels like sometimes, things are really good, and then other times things are really bad. And what's happening in December is you trying to make sure that as this cycle repeats itself, you're once again protecting yourself, standing up for yourself, and making yourself feel at peace with whatever choices you've made. And part of that has to do with how you show up in public, which is why some of the choices you're making are behind the scenes. You don't want people to know everything that you're doing. You're being very selective about what you show people, which, to be fair, is very Libra of you. That sort of diplomatic, it's coming through here. But in the holiday period for you, sweet soul, the people around you, they know you either because of work or because of family or because of past relationships. And there's an energy here of just getting under each other's skin, not having the same values, the same culture, the same views of what to do with your money especially. And it ends up with you going, enough is enough. I'm not going to have this conversation again, or I'm not going to be put through this again. I feel like you've betrayed me, and if you think that I've betrayed you, then whatever, but trust is broken. But it's not a clean break with the Death card reversed. Why is the Death card reversed here? And for your money, that's what I'm shocked about, because you're already looking for the next opportunity. If this is a workplace, you may be already applying for a different job or working on a new contract, or looking for a way out, whereas they're going, what, you're leaving? So people are just shocked that this is happening. And when it comes to money, you're creating an opportunity that other people don't even know about yet, and they feel like it's against what they want for themselves. But why do they feel entitled to you? I don't understand what's happening. So let's have a look at your love life. I hope we're not making it more complicated by moving on, but I think we need to just get the clarity you need, and then hopefully you know what this is about and you can use your discernment to apply it to your situation. Spirit, when it comes to love, which you have love up here, so I feel hopeful about this area of your life. What is happening for Libra when it comes to love? Oh, look at that. 3 of Candles reversed. What is happening to Libra when it comes to love, Spirit? We also have the 2 of Candles reversed. What is happening in love? We have the Devil, and at the back of the deck is the Star card. Wow. What is happening in love for Libra? All right, so we have the Moon down here. You are joking. We have Libra again, this time on love. And we also have the 10th house, which is kind of showing up as a blockage on the surrender card. So you're trying to surrender when it comes to love so that you can look at all your options, so that you can wait to see what your heart is telling you to do. But at the same time, you're feeling pressured by your responsibilities, by the commitments that you have already made. For some of you, this even involves marriage. This involves work responsibilities, family responsibilities. The 10th house is also about your reputation. You're worried about what other people are thinking about your love life or your relationship. In December, it kind of feels like it's hard to quiet the noise, which is why you're choosing all of this energy. You're choosing it because there's actually a lot more happening around you. So with the Star card reversed, I feel like this is something from the past resurfacing as a renewed idea, because to me, the Star card represents hope, faith, aspirations, and looking up at the stars to kind of think outside of us here on earth, to think outside of what's around you, what's in front of you, what's complicating your life right now. And so that it's not just about the stress that you can see or the things that you can visualize, but what's bigger. The thing is, when that card's reversed, it might feel like you're trapped in a cycle here when it comes to love, like something keeps repeating itself, or you're having to start again from scratch in a way that feels very familiar to what you've already been through. So I do think with the 3 of Candles reversed, Libra, love is encouraging you to reevaluate what you're putting your energy into in December. What are you manifesting? What are you creating? And there's this strong feeling of stubbornness. But again, maybe I'm reading for a cross-watcher, because it feels like expectations have changed. Usually when a 3 of Candles is upright, we've had that idea that the Ace of Wands gave us. We've created something with it, and we're turning it into our vision with the 2 of Wands. And we're just sort of waiting to see what the early results reveal with the 3 of Wands. How far can we take this idea? When it's reversed, it's like, okay, so things didn't go the way that we expected. Now we've got to revisit our original idea. Can we still create something from it? Or do we need to start from scratch and do it all again? And I think that there's something about this that feels really against your planning. You weren't expecting this to happen in December. You were hoping you could wait until the new year. You were hoping that you would have more time. When it comes to love, you're feeling very unsatisfied, but also a little bit frustrated by the cards that you've been dealt. And you want to prioritize the people that you love, the things that are here in front of you. But you're also feeling like you don't have a lot of choices. And that's what's frustrating. That's why it's coming across as stubborn, because it's like you're only dealt the cards that you were dealt, but it's not what you wanted. So with the 2 of Candles reversed right next to it and the Moon card, this is more of that waiting energy, observing energy, processing your feelings energy. When it comes to love, I don't see things happening for everybody. I see a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes again in your love life, and you may be purposely keeping things secret and keeping it personal. Only key people are involved. Only certain people can know. You don't want everybody to know with this Moon card. You're trying to protect maybe yourself, but you're also trying to protect somebody else here, whether it's a child or a partner, whether you're single or in a relationship or situationship. Your feelings feel very personal, and you don't expect everybody to understand how you feel and to understand this tension. So you're like going inward and only opening up to a select number of people that you trust. Now, with the devil here, I do think that you have a love interest that isn't ideal just because of the way that they're acting in December. This interaction feels like it's very enabling, and it feels like this is the kind of person who can bring out the worst in you at times. And I'm not saying they're a bad person. I don't know that much about them, but the way that they're showing up, Libra, is they're showing up as somebody who's very enabling, and they kind of bring out this side of you that has a very like it's us against the world vibes, while also keeping you trapped in a situation. So it's like you become very dependent on each other. And look, if you're single, there could be somebody that you're choosing to get involved with in December because they help you escape everything else that's going on. But it doesn't feel like it's the best thing for you. It just feels like it's helping you escape from everything. It's helping you not worry so much about everything else. And you know, with the 3 of candles and the 2 of candles reversed and the star reversed, history is repeating itself, and it's not going to end well. But you feel like it's not going to be that bad. You just don't want to deal with it all yet. So it's a very interesting feeling, and I don't know what's going on for you, sweets. Like, I'm just feeling like you've gotten entangled in something very complicated here. Is there any other advice you can give Libra when it comes to love in December? 3 of Cups reversed. Your advice is be very careful. If you aren't in a relationship, be very careful about who you date in December, who you choose to get involved with, because I think with the 3 of Cups reversed, this situation is only supposed to be temporary. It's supposed to serve a purpose, and that purpose is supposed to be, you know, just fun and temporary. But it has the potential to become more serious and to actually be something that we get trapped in. So be very careful, Libra. If you're in a relationship already, the 3 of Cups reversed is saying that this connection seems to be isolating you in December. And I don't know if that's genuine. I think that you have some people who want to keep up with you, who want to be there for you, and who want to support you. But it feels like you're taking what they're saying as a sign that, you know, they don't support your choices. And that's everything to you in December. You're trying to be at peace with your choices, and you want to be around people who respect your decisions. So if a loved one is going, why would you do that? You're taking it as, well, you don't respect my decision. So just be very wary of escalating this when actually people are wanting to just love you and support you, but also be there in your best interest. It feels complicated, so I don't know if that advice is always going to serve you. You might feel like, hell no, you know, I'm not doing what they want me to do. That's not why I'm alive. I'm alive because I'm given this life, and I'm going to do what I need to do. But with the 8 of Swords reversed, it kind of feels like you're not getting a clear view of the situation. you're feeling attacked when you should, like, perception is everything in this situation, and you're accidentally isolating yourself more and making this more of an issue. It's hard because, like, I'm playing devil's advocate. I'm here reading for you, Libra. Like, your feelings are valid. And I can feel how some people really get under your skin. I don't understand why it's happened, but in December, your words, your actions are powerful. So ultimately, as a reader for you, use your words and your actions to empower yourself, to get out of situations that you feel trapped in, and to remind yourself that you do hold all the cards. Even if you're not happy with the cards that you were dealt, you hold all the cards. It's your life. Make sure you're not isolating yourself and allowing the situation to make you feel trapped, because you do have people that love you and they keep trying to intervene in this connection in terms of the reading. Like, I'm trying to read for you and I'm getting all these other people. So it's going to be a busy month energetically, socially. I wish you all the best, sweet souls. I'm sorry to leave your reading there, but I'm going to have to end it. And look after yourself. I hope that this reading sets you up for December and makes you more aware of things that have already transpired and how they're going to progress in the month ahead. As we part ways, sweet souls, thank you so much for all of your time, your energy, and your support. I wish you peace, prosperity, abundance, happiness, health, wealth, success, and joy on your journeys ahead. Bye.